Beautiful. What do we have here? Keys, Volkswagen T-Roc. Let's go with our what the function video. And as usual, let's start from the key. So it's a pretty standard Volkswagen key. So you can close the car, open the car, and open the bonnet. If for some reasons you ran out of juice and you need to find the key itself on the car, press this button, pull the plug, and here is the key. Then just put it here and you are safe. Now the car has full keyless access here, so you can open the trunk with a kick. You can open the car like this and close it. And unfortunately you don't have sensors here, as you can see. Nothing super interesting here, just open it, refuel and put it back, and you can put your cap here. Door protection, this area is not covered with the doors, so it will be dirty. Be careful, yeah, the rest of it is usually covered with the rubber protection. And I think you have enough space to jump into the car. The doors are kind of okay-ish, so you have bumpy material here and here, but a bit of the hard one here. In the doors you have some fabrics, you will put some bottle there, it won't be so noisy, but this area again is noisy. Then you have an interesting concept of opening the doors. You need to pull like that. And as you can hear, there is a blind spot monitoring system notifying you in case there is a car or the cyclist or something else. Let's test it one more time. Okay, works perfectly. Now to the comfort and the space. So you have some storage space here, no phone holder unfortunately. Hanger for your clothes, no handle here. Light, in case you want to read something. You can play with the brightness of it, just activate it and then hold it a bit here to reduce the brightness. We have 3 climate control zones, 1, 2 and 3, so you can play with the temperature here. And here we have 2 USB Type-C charging ports. Of course we need to check cup holders. Let me ask my Vikings for assistance. So looks like they are happy. Here they are a bit worried. So as you can see, the size is different. You have a lot of space for your feet, and on top of my head I have about 4 centimeters, meaning that if you are something about 180 centimeters, you can sit here comfortably. Everything higher, yeah, you have some problems. Now what do we have in front? So first of all you have interior lighting. We will check it in the darkness a little bit later. Then same door handles, central lock button, actually pretty nice place for it. It's huge and with a clear sign that it's activated. Pretty standard Volkswagen rear mirrors adjustment. Just select the mirror and do whatever you want with it. Yes, then you can fold it or unfold it and of course activate the rear view mirrors heating. Moving on, so we have all the window lifters with the automatic function and they go down completely, all good. And then of course you can lock rear window lifters in case there are kids or some crazy people. Now the dream car is leaving, the Lada Niva, and we will have some space. You can open the trunk if you want with a button. There you have some storage area with some nice fabrics, but besides that the materials are pretty scratchy and noisy. If you want to open the bonnet, here's the lever. And in terms of driver seat adjustments, you can play with the height of the seat like this. You can play with lumbar support, just the height, move it forwards or backwards. And of course you can adjust the seat position manually if you want to move to the back. Super standard Volkswagen steering wheel. Here everything related to cruise control. You can select different modes, so there are basically 3 of them. It's adaptive cruise control system, cruise control, and sorry, there is a limiter as well. Nowadays it's pretty popular to just allow you to use limiter or adaptive cruise control system. And in case you want just the regular cruise control, you need to either disable adaptive cruise control with some weird ways in the settings of the car, or you just don't have it. So here it's pretty simple, you can fully control it. That's great. Also the buttons are physical, no sensor bullshit. Oh great. Just select the speed, then play with it, Then you can play with the distance if you are using the adaptive cruise control system. Then you can cancel it and you can resume the last saved speed. Super clear. Then here you have the controls for the multimedia system, the volume of the music, and the tracks or the radio stations. Then we have steering wheel heating. You can activate it. It has 3 levels, so you can reduce the steering wheel heating to the lower level, or you can just hold the button and fully disable it immediately. Then voice assistant. Hello, IDA. Help.
Here's an overview of all the functions you can control with your voice. You can select one by saying its name or the line number.
I'm searching for a parking space.
Search for parking nearby. Please select a POI from the list.
Show me driving data.
OK, here's the menu you're looking for.
So there are a bunch of things you can control with that. It's pretty advanced, to be honest. I will make a separate video about that. Just let me know in the comments what are the cases you want me to test it for. If you will hold this button with your phone activated in CarPlay or Android Auto connected, you will, as usual, see the Siri or the Google Assistant being used instead of the built-in voice assistant from the car manufacturer. Then, if you open this tiny menu, you can select this selector level display. It shows or hides geo selection indication, and also you can play with the speed, so it will be shown here. Then you can switch between different views, so you can play with what you see here. Let's select total distance, for example, and then at the right side let's select, I don't know, compass. You can play with it pretty flexibly, and then you can switch between different views. So by clicking obviously the view button, yes, there are different designs. So this one is kind of more modern, with some statistics, with the digital speedometer here, and then there is also an option with driving assistance. Then the navigation, give it a moment, yes, so it will show you the giant map, and then the standard one. Also, you can affect the driver dashboard with some other pre-selections. Here we will go through that. But let's move on with the steering wheel. Flappy pedals here, gear selector. That's the most important part. First of all, in order to select the drive mode, you just move it like that, and you have drive mode. Vehicle ready to drive. Okay. If you need to select the rear gear, you can pull it like that, and you will see the camera. With the light turn, you can then activate the neutral if you want, or you move on with the drive. One more turn clockwise and you will select the sport mode. One more and you are back on the drive. Also, you can play with the play pedals and select your gears manually. If you want to manually switch to the different gear, and yep, for example, we are now going on the 3rd gear, we can switch to the 2nd one if you want to have a better acceleration. Then we can move to the 4th one. Then if you want to deactivate the manual mode, you can just hold the right flappy pedal and it will be switched off. And when you finish driving, your car is stationary, and basically you don't need to press the parking button. You can just press the stop engine. It will automatically switch to the parking, and it will also apply the parking brake. At the left side, you have controls, some of them for the light, so you have auto mode. Basically, you can activate it and live with that, nothing else needed. Then you can activate front fog lamp and then the rear fog lamp. Also, when the ignition is disabled, you can activate the side light. Give it a second. Side light, select the side, and then your side light will be activated. Now, what else regarding the lights? So, you have all the controls for the rest of the light settings and to the wipers on the left side. Push the lever forwards and it will activate the automated headlamps switching, which is pretty useful, or you can just blink with the headlamps manually. As for the wipers, so the joystick here, now it's in off position, then you can select auto mode with the low sensitivity and then auto mode with high sensitivity. Then low intensive mode and then high intensity mode. Yep. If you want to just quickly wipe the dust from your front screen, press this tiny nice button and that's it. If you want to add some liquid, then you need to push it. Rear wipers selected to be cleaned constantly. Push it and you will see some liquid there as well. Of course, you can close your eyes from sun, hold your documents here or parking ticket or whatever you want. Light if you want to refresh yourself. You can hold the car. For some reason, it is available on the driver's side, but it's not available for your passengers. I'm not sure why it's really needed here, because you should hold the steering wheel. Rear view mirrors are good. You have blind spot monitoring system, as we already tested it. Of course, you have the rear view mirror automated dimming, so you don't need to do anything. It will just work in the dark environment. Oh, good. You can call up emergency services. You can activate the light, then disable it in car completely, not only here but in the rear row as well. You can deactivate activation of the light when the door is open, like this, and indication of the passenger airbag if it's activated or not. Now to the multimedia system. I want to highlight that we won't go through all the functions of the latest multimedia system from Volkswagen, because it has a lot of functions and they work on most of the cars, and I will make a separate video about that. Let me know in the comments what kind of things you want to cover in that video. But for now we will just go through the basics that will be important for you while using the car for the first time, maybe. And of course, if you are an active owner of T-Roc or any other cars with same multimedia system, please let me know in the comments what is your experience using these cars. And yeah, if I say something wrong, of course, share it in the comments, because I'm not owning this car, I'm just using it temporarily for making reviews. You have home screen that you can adjust. You can have your navigation here. You can see some information from the voice assistant. You can see the multimedia information, and you can quickly open your phone. Then let's imagine you have connected your phone with CarPlay. It supports both wireless and wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can find a video about Apple CarPlay on my channel, and also later I will do a separate video about Android Auto, so we won't spend too much time on that. If you have your phone connected, as you can see, it's displayed here. You can see some phone calls here, and you can call someone from your favorites from Apple CarPlay. You have vehicle status with some information, and of course you can configure the home screen. You can check what are the main functions here. Then from the top of the screen you can access some of the quick functions. First of all, you can switch between dark and light mode. I prefer dark one. You can play with the brightness, and you have some additional pre-selected things, like you want to access your sound settings quickly, sure. Background lighting functions here easily. If you will hold it, you will see that you can select different functions. For example, you can select hotspot instead of background lighting, and it will be activated here easily. On top of the screen, you have access to some of the quick functions. For example, you can quickly access vehicle favorites, like you can activate recuperation, or you can disable start stop or auto hold. Let's activate it. Or you can add something else here, parking assistant. So for now we are not looking for a parking space, but still you can use it if you want. Camera, of course, you can switch between different modes, like the fisheye if you want. Then all the assistants. So you have two views: imagery view, where you can just select some signs and see some functions, or you can select all the front assist features, or you can have the list of all driving assistants here and play with it. Then you can move on to the driving mode. So you have different pre-selected ones, or you can open the individual one and play with its settings. You can play with driver dynamics, steering, drive, how the adaptive cruise control system should behave, light assistance, and air conditioning. And also you have something called Atmospheres. So it basically affects how the driver dashboard looks, how the interior lighting works, and also it can activate some playlists if you want. And also you have settings where you can play what's included in the atmosphere. Finally, you have quick access to Apple CarPlay, and of course if you want to switch back to the car, you can just click the home button. Then some functions regarding your privacy settings, if you want to play with that, and then the clocks. From here you can also access some of the car settings. At the bottom you have quick access to some climate control functions, so you can play with the temperature, you can swipe it, you can click the buttons, you can again select something else here. If the temperature is different, you can sync the temperature. Then you can select the auto mode and play with the intensity, and then you can switch to the climate settings and play with a lot of stuff here. Let's select the low mode, it's too noisy. So you have some smart features like defog windows or cool my feet, nice, or warm my feet, bring some fresh air, warm my hands. So it will activate respective functions for you quite quickly. Also, you can play with that with the voice assistant, but we will cover that in a separate video. Then here you have some settings related to how the car should behave in terms of air conditioning functions, depending on the weather. So you can activate steering wheel heating automatically or seat heating. You can play with the airflow direction, activate recirculation. You can again activate the steering wheel heating, or you can play with the rear row settings. So basically play with the temperature. And also you have access to some quick functions. You can activate rear window heating, or you can select the maximum defrosting of the front screen. Unfortunately, you don't have electric heating here. In the main menu, you have phone settings, radio media, built-in navigation. I prefer to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but still, if you want, you can play with some built-in navigation. Again, we will cover it in a separate video about the multimedia system. Some vehicle settings and vehicle information. You can play with the data. As you can see, long term, we have nearly 10 liters per 100 kilometers, but the car is relatively new, so it's fine. Status information, oil level, service or tires, all good. And access to some of the settings. If you want, you can play with it. It's pretty clear. Then let's imagine you've activated some music. And here you can play with the level of the volume. I must say that audio system is pretty good, even for the stream level. Overall, the multimedia system works nice. It's pretty responsive for play in full screen. No issues here as well. Let's check how many widgets we can fit here. 3. That's nice, actually. Physical button for the emergency lights. That's great. 2 USB Type-C charging ports. You can connect your phone easily. You have wireless charging area here. It's charging. And there is a built-in ventilation. The air should come from here, and yeah, it kind of distributes under your phone. You can take this rubber carpet and wash it if you want. And of course, you can take this one as well to clean if you want. Electric parking brake, you can activate it or deactivate it. Start the engine or stop the engine, all clear. And this joystick either works with the volume of the music, or you can press it. Then you can switch between two things. Driving profile, turn the wheel in order to select different mode, or you can swipe and select different atmosphere settings. Energetic, joy, lounge, minimal. So it's a duplicated feature. I personally think that it would be better to put here geo selector and not the volume selection, because you already have volume adjustment here. You have, yes, sensor one, but still you have volume adjustment here. But due to the fact that the right lever is used for geo selection, you have to pack a lot of stuff on the left one. Then we have giant storage area where you can play with the size of the compartments. So you can put it like this, and yeah, still it will jump. Maybe like this. Yeah, it kind of holds. You can also fix it here, so a lot of flexibility here. As for the armrest, you can move it forwards, backwards, you can play with the angle. Yeah, so pretty nice one. At the right side, what do we have here? So first of all, passenger airbag activation or deactivation. Just put your key here and turn it if you need it. Seat adjustments, manual. You can play with the height, with the back support and with the lumbar support again. And of course, move it backwards. Here we have some storage space. You can put some, I don't know, coins here, some documents. It's not super spacious, but it's okay. The materials here are actually pretty nice. Now let's try to test the automated parking assistant. Let's try to park here, from here. Okay, now, like this. Cool. Start. Okay, let's now drive out of the parking space. Parking assistant, indicate to exit parking space. Start. Release the parking brake. I'm not touching the brakes, I'm just controlling it. Yeah, a little bit nervous. There is a car, please don't hit it. Yes, I had to help it. Okay, it says the vehicle has exited the parking space. It's not really exited, but okay, it counts. Now let's check it in terms of comfort during driving. Visibility, mostly all good. Noisiness, as you can see, there is a tram riding near us. It's not a lot of noise. Same from the tires. Blinker sound is pretty comfortable, can't complain. There are much more annoying options on the market. Central screen is tilted slightly to the driver, so it's mostly convenient to use. Of course, most of the functions are controlled via the sensor screen, so it's not an optimal solution. And as we already discussed, you can play with some settings using voice control. For example, turn on seat heating.
I've switched on the seat heating at the front left.
It activated seat heating for the driver's seat. Turn off seat heating.
I've switched off the seat heating at the front left.
So you can control at least some of the functions. Now let's see how the adaptive cruise control works. Lane keeping system is activated, speed warning is activated. Yeah, most of the things are on. And it stops, it activates auto hold, all good. Adaptive cruise control is ready to start. And it starts itself. Most probably, if you will wait for longer, it will ask you to touch the acceleration pedal, but can't complain. In terms of maneuvering, I would say it's pretty wide, so you have to be careful. Now let's check the trunk. It's not that spacious. This is the standard cabin size suitcase. Here you can, in theory, have the spare wheel, but we don't have it as soon as it's a rental. A little bit higher. If you want to close the trunk door, you can either push the button or you can just pull the door. And in order to open it, you can either kick the car or again click the button. As you can see here, we have the rear view camera and there is a sprinkler to clean the camera if you need it. As for the trunk space, you have a bunch of useful features. You have power socket here. You can fix your stuff here, maybe here. Here you have some storage space. Also storage space here. And what's nice, you can fold seats 40, 20, 40, so you can in theory put something long here. Something like that. And of course we need to measure the trunk space with our lovely shark. And yeah, 2 sharks in width, 1 shark and a half in depth. Height, 1 shark with the lower position of the floor. Shark without detail. Not the biggest one, but it's fine. Now let's check it for night comfort. So everything here is with the backlighting, all good. Trunk opening button is also with the backlighting. All buttons at the steering wheel, everything is perfect. The driver dashboard is easy to use in all conditions. Great colors and great color scheme from the main infotainment screen. Let's select something different. Energetic or maybe lounge, I think. So the doors have lighting everywhere. So here, even there for your bottles. Fit area also good. My trees looks pretty nice. But unfortunately for the back row, no fancy backlighting. If you would deactivate the screen, you can see it better. Type-C charging ports, they have backlighting as well. All good. These are the headlamps, these are the blinkers. Exterior lighting also pretty fun one. Blinkers, of course, Volkswagen logo has backlighting. The rear blinkers are a little bit simpler, but also fine. Generally speaking, I really like how it looks, but today we're not talking about how it looks. It was mostly about the functions, and if you want a separate video about the driving characteristics of the car, how it feels, what's the emotional part when you are using it, what are the trim levels, please let me know in the comments, and of course share your thoughts about the car. See you soon, bye.